Hello everyone, this is RexRed. I am back with another DAZ Studio tutorial. Today I'm going to be working on a scene, and I hope you enjoy what I have planned today. This is a Lady of the Lake scene, okay? And I wanted to like start the whole scene over and kind of show you a few tips and tricks that I've learned along the way here. But I figured, why do that? Because it would just be a waste of time, and I could kind of just explain how I got to this place. And I figured you guys would and gals would understand how I did this. So at this point, this is where I'm at, and so I'm gonna just kind of like talk you into what I've got here. This is I named this tutorial DAZ Scenery EZ3DTV Camelot, because as you can see in the way background, there's some kind of Camelot castle thing going on. And then we have this lady with a sword coming out of a lake. And so now the problem that I'm having with this scene currently is it's kind of lopsided, and I'd like to move it like over here like this, and then over here like this, and kind of pull those trees over. Now, if I do this, it's going to throw off where she is, but that's the whole point, is to get her kind of in the middle. And when I do this, then I'm going to have to redo my ultra scenery. So we're going to move her over now into the center, which would be Z, I think. Everything in the scene is kind of off in a way. Now I may have this off as well, so we're going to just keep moving over until we're going to go from the right front here. And then we're going to just move it all way over, like, and I can't do this because now I've got something weird going on there. And so I'm going to have to do this a little bit off kilter here. Like that. We'll move this back over here and go a little more off kilter. And then we'll move her back over, I think, this way. And then what we're going to do is Control L. Let's turn the light on. And then we're going to come down here so you can see that she's in the water. This is actually okay, the way this looks. Welcome, welcome. Welcome. Hey, is that Eve? Yes, you made it to the beginning of this stream, and it's kind of late, but I just tuned in. You just missed the intro music. So we have a Lady of the Lake scene here, and I'm going to turn her a little bit so that what I did was I started working on this scene. It is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, DAZ artists. So yes, you are. So we're going to turn her, rotate her so she's looking at us, kind of. So that works. And I'm going to show you a little tip in ultra scenery. I don't know if I think you do work with ultra scenery. So this is a cool tip in ultra scenery. Well, thank you for the love. Thank you for the heart. And okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into ultra scenery, and I'm going to show you a couple of little places where there's some interesting stuff you can do. Ultra Scenery Creator. And this first area, it's like we're always brought into here, into this. And usually what we do is we take the land and it goes from 1 to 5. But you can actually go higher than 5. You could go to 50, but you'd end up with your road like having these big. And you can also change how bumpy the land is. You can change when you go to the contrast and you make it more gray, then you can make it really hilly, but smooth hills, okay? So if you do this, usually the Perlin map, and I don't want to change this, is because this is the scene that I have so far. But if I bring this up here, then the white will get whiter and the black will get blacker, and you'll get more pronounced hills. And so you can come in here and really do some funky things, and you don't have to stop at maximum altitude of 5. That's not like the limit. You can go higher than 5. 10 is probably about the highest you might want to go, but then if you smoothen it out and make it all gray, then it kind of averages out in between the 10. And so what the big one right here that you can deal with is the contrast and octaves, which means how fine it is, or the zoom, which makes the black and white little patches smaller and more compact. And so this is when you first come into Ultra Scenery. You can do stuff with the land here, which is very interesting. And I would say mainly that if you raise this up to 10, you want to bring the contrast down so it's more of a gray than black and white, okay? Or else you're going to get some really extreme hills. And you want to zoom it so that the hills are maybe a little bigger than, but you can do some interesting stuff with this. Then features are pretty self-explanatory. You just pretty much pick what feature. Ecology is pretty much self-explanatory. But when you get into the water area, there's this little thing that I kind of never noticed before, but see this where it says settings, and you go into the water, and it's not any more resource intensive at all, okay? It just gives you a piece of landscape that is shaped differently, okay? So that it doesn't bump up the resources one bit, okay? It's not making larger land or a larger chunk of land. It's just giving you some options with the shape of the land, okay? And then this other thing, and this is what I wanted to show you, is that you can come in and you can change all of these. These are all presets. These are all kind of the same water, but what they've done is change some of these settings here to make it like different water, and they've gone into greens and different. But you can come in and you can change the water and absorption distance, scattering strength, and this ripple strength. If you bring this all the way down to 0, okay, you can get a mirror surface, okay? So that's why if you've ever tried to get a mirror surface in Ultra Scenery and you get your water in and you say, well, it's kind of nice, but it's not mirroring it perfect. It's not what I wanted. And then at that point, your brain just says, well, I guess that's that, you know? But no, it's not, because in this water thing, if you go into the settings here and you just take the ripple strength and you bring it down to flat, you will get perfect mirrored water, okay? So now we go into this build and rebuild the scene. We got this on the camera, And we got all of our stuff, rebuild the scene. This is going to take a while because I have the cameras kind of focusing. It's kind of back in the scene, and it's capturing a lot of land and a lot of stuff in the scene. So wait till you see how awesome this mirroring of the water is, because that's how you get like a perfect kind of mirrored water effect. And if you want, you can then, at that point, you can bring the ripples up a little bit. Yes, you can change all of those things, like the lagoon blue and are all because they've gone in and messed with those colors. And so they're all just presets of different color, like starting points, but you can go in and just add your own colors in there and make the water completely funkadelic if you want. And so basically that gives you unlimited water colors and textures and starting points, and the ability to really add the turbulence to the water and make it the way you want. And it takes a person who's been using ultra scenery for years, like, unless you read the manuals, I guess. But it's just it can take a long time to find that stuff is there, and that it's so cool to see it there. So this is going to take a while. This is accelerated. While I'm here, I thought I might give you guys my humble opinion about a particular product. I got to bring my camera down a tiny bit. About a particular product in the DAZ store. It is called RISI Genesis 8 to 9 Hair Converter. And this product, okay, I'm kind of doing this as to kind of alert you, okay, about this particular product, and so you don't do what I did. Okay, and because I have like 10,600 assets in my download manager. So when I got the RISI hair product, and most of my hair products are all Genesis 8. A lot of them are Genesis 3, but they're kind of copies of the Genesis 8 hair. So a lot of my hair assets are Genesis 8 hair assets. And what I did was I went crazy with the RISI. It took me like a couple of days to go and just bulk convert all of my Genesis 8 hair to Genesis 9. Okay, and so what I ended up with was twice as many hair assets to have to dig through to find the right hair, because there would be, the Genesis 9 picture and the Genesis 8 picture of the exact same hair in my content library. And the problem is that the RISI hair converter product, which Riversoft, I have many things I bought from him that are so absolutely awesome products. And SickleYield, the same thing, probably even more products that I have bought from SickleYield that I use like all the time, almost in every scene. So it's no reflection to their work as a whole, but this particular product, I probably kind of wish I had never tried to use it, okay? And I kind of really mean it. So, but this product, so basically it kind of littered up my content library with all of these copies of the hair. And what it did also is they were not good copies. They basically, the hair converter did a worse job, like a much worse job, of converting the hair, at least almost in every single case that I saw. It did a really, really bad job of converting the hair. This is the truth, okay? It did the worst job converting the hair than the auto fit, okay? So, and that was almost in every case that I saw. In every single case, it was done worse. It did a job. It, like, the hair had folds in the hair where, like, you could see a big crack in the hair, and all kinds of problems with the hair. And so so I had all this hair, and I didn't know how to get rid of it from my content library. And so it was just, for months and months and months, I just had to keep digging through all this extraneous hair that I couldn't use to find the actual real hair, and then just use the auto fit. Well, I will give you a tip, okay, on how you get rid of those orphans, okay? Now, don't hold me to this, okay? Because now you go to this, you click on your Smart Content tab up in here, okay? And what you do is you click on this little hamburger thing here, and you go to this Content DB Maintenance. See that right there? Okay? And when you click on that, all right, it says, okay, all right, well, this will fix that, okay? And what you do is you reset the database, okay? You see this reset? And now, I tell you right now, this is complicated, okay? Is you reset the database, and then you click accept, and I'm not going to do that because we would be out. I would be, my computer would be down for hours. But that's what I had to do, was reset the database. After I deleted that folder with the hair, I had like hundreds of orphans, like 1,000. And so I had to reset the database, and and it took like an hour or so. And then after that happened, everything, when I came back in, no, it wasn't that long, because I have 10,600 items. It took me an hour to get my database back under control. And so, yeah, you see what I'm saying? And so and so it took me like an hour for it to parse through. And then once I reset the database, everything came back all gray. Okay, it was all grayed out, and it had that circle like to download it for, you know what the gray things look like when they're down at the bottom. You have a few things that don't install right. Sometimes and they want you to use the content thing to install them. Well, they were all grayed out, and what I had to do was then go back into this content database, and I had to re-import metadata. And what that does is, I had to re-import the metadata, and when I did that, I re-imported the metadata. What does it says, it like this little line goes, and it goes to 100%, and then it stops at 100% and freezes. And your DAS just sits there. It doesn't say, I'm thinking, or anything. It doesn't tell you anything. It just freezes. Okay? But you have to leave it alone for like a half an hour or so, and just let it think. And it doesn't tell you, I'm thinking. It doesn't tell you anything. It just freezes. And that's it. And you have to let it think and do its thing. And then, and once it's done, that goes away, and your icons will turn back to color again. All right, that's how I did it. But in the process of doing that, Yes, and in the process, and if you have trouble doing this, you can always go back and watch this video and see how I explained this. Okay, but in the process of doing that, I lost all of my. I don't know if you have them, but I lost all of my my categories. My categorization is gone now. See if I can line this up. Now, okay, see, that looks better than... Okay, I've got to make sure it actually goes over to the edge. Okay. And then we've got to bring it up like this so that it stands out. There we go. You know, I think this could like go like that, yeah. And, all right, so, you know... This is, now what we're going to do is I need to go into my smart content and find, I'd like to finish this scene. And so what I've got to do is I'd like to go in and find a way to turn the trees off here. So, and what we can do is go to products and default and ultra. And we're going to go to Ultra. I hope it's just this scene. Maybe it's because I was making this scene in the middle of when I did all of that stuff. Well, I could, but let's try. And I'd like to find the toolkit. So I think I need to go Tools, Toolbox, here it is, Tool. Where is this one? See, now I'm wondering if like all of my things are going to be here. Toolbox. Is it Toolbox? Yeah. So one of these is going to have one of these utilities where it says Group locator, repack. Okay, where's the other one? It might be in here. It says hide-ecologies. So we right-click on this, and we're going to go create a custom action. And I'm going to create a new one. This one's in scripts. We're going to go to favorites. Well... Oh, it'd be here, favorites. And we're going to create this one called Ultra. Okay, Ultra Scenery. And this one's going to be called, okay, can you go away? All right. Submenu. Oh, what? Ultra. Okay, Ultra Scenery accept. Let's see what happens. All right, has been created. Is it up here? All right, Ultra Scenery, and that's in there now. Okay, so what now when I click on this, I don't think I have to do anything. I just click on it, and you need to select the group first. Okay. All right, I guess I have to click on the group. And now Ultra Scenery, hide-ecologies. All right, this allows me to just, with one button, hide all the ecologies. Now, if I go there again, show ecologies. So we got to add this one here, create custom action, accept. All right, now this one here, it says show ecologies, and that brings them all back. When I'm in the band, I play the same character I play in real life. I'm that way as well. The only thing is that when you're the singer, okay, if you sing other people's music, sometimes they envelop you in a role, okay? You can't avoid it. People look at you and, like, you know, that song by Bob Seger, Turn the Page. You know, it's about this guy who, you know, and you sing that song on a long, lonesome highway East of Omaha, you can listen to the engine rolling out as one long song. You can think about the woman or the girl you knew the night before. You know, it puts you in, it's like you can't help but be put into this, you know, role. And that's the way, here I am. So it puts you into this role. And, but I'm the same person, you know, I've always been the same person. Even when I was a little kid, I just, you know, I never had to go through a period in my life where I became who I am. Smoke the day's last cigarette, remembering what you said. Yeah, so, yeah, I never had to go through, you know, a change. That's funny. The dogs howl 3 states away. I think I'm a little bit loud here. Well, maybe they like the sound. When I play the harmonica, my dog used to howl. Oh my gosh. It was like they'd look at me like, you know, like this kind of thing when I play and then start barking. So this mask builder is really a great, have to sing like, oh, from Detroit. Oh, yes, he is. Ann Arbor was, yeah, Ann Arbor. I thought, well, that's where I know he did. He used to come to Maine a lot and sing, do concerts in Maine. I don't know what it was, but Bob Seger did many concerts here in Maine. I'm probably, he's one of my favorite artists of all time, you know. That and the Moody Blues. So, yes, so we're now going to go into the environment options. Okay, let's turn this back off now, the scenery, hide the ecologies. Oh, we got to select it again, hide the ecologies, so I can move things around. Now, I think my camera, if it's not locked, I need to lock it. Favorites, most used. Okay, the camera's locked. So now we can yes. So we can go now into our I'm going to go into my spotlight. See, this allows me to now kind of move around in the scene a little bit. And okay, let's do this. And okay, spotlight. We're going to come here, all right? And we're going to put a spotlight here. We may not need the spotlight. We do need a light in the scene, but okay, now if we go back to the camera view, and what we're going to do is now we're going to mess with this with our parameters, with our browse. We're going to go up here to our HDRI. I'm hoping that it's just this scene that's taking forever to save. Now because I'm going to load an HDRI and it won't affect the background because the background is a plane with an image on it. Let's see what this, oh, I just selected the JPEG. And I needed to select the, that may not even be the one that I want here. Let's try this one. This is an 8K HDRI. And that is going to load. And then we can go into Iray. Yeah, people keep the city clean. They call it Nutbush. Ah, Nutbush. All right. And we now are going to rotate the dome a little bit. And let's see how this works. Maybe a little more. All right, let's see now what happens when we turn back on our lights, our show ecology. Okay. I think this is going to be, this could be like done. Let's see now. Okay, now I don't have this set. Oh, here we go. There, look at this now. Now I could add some mist to the water, but that would kind of then obscure this beautiful reflection that we have here. So, I think that's my image. I think that's it. Yeah, ultra scenery is one of the most blissful experiences that you can have with DAZ Studio. I would say the most blissful experience that you can have with DAZ Studio, and maybe I'll let you guys guess, okay? What is the most blissful experience you can have with DAZ Studio, okay? Besides ultra scenery, okay? And I'll let you take a stab at that one and see if you can guess what it is. And because I know the answer, and maybe my answer isn't the maybe it's not the best answer, but I believe it. I believe I have some insight into this, and so I was thinking about some makeup on her face, like kind of like that black kind of hanging down her face, you know, like black mascara, like, but sort of running down her face. Like, what do you think about that idea? So, oh, that is a blissful experience. And it might actually like, encompass my answer, but I'll say I'll give you the answer, okay? So I don't keep you waiting too long. But the most blissful experience you can have with DAZ Studio is with the human characters, okay? Because the human character is so utterly beautiful, and the DAZ characters are every bit that beautiful. So So I would say, so we're going to go now here with, I'm going to try to save this again, and it's going to take forever to save. I was hoping that maybe it might, you know, kick out of this. And I did restart my computer. I mean, I restarted DAZ. So I have a feeling that this right now, it's saying it's uploading 3,117 files. This is just going to sit here and 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 sit here. It's not uploading. I think it was 3,100. So this little problem is going to just keep going on, and I can't remember what I had to do to fix it before. But these are all these DAZ files that I don't really believe Microsoft should be, you know, it's like I get these emails that saying, oh, these are your memories from, and it's like all these private pictures and all of these, and then it's like every kind of DAZ product that I've got in this, all these, as if those images are like my memories from, and it's like, you know, it's just, and I've got everything shut off. Like, Microsoft, don't like use my desktop with OneDrive. Don't use my documents. I've shut everything off, but they've still got their tentacles into something, you know, that's ripping all these photos from my computer. I don't know whether it's what it is, but it's just let me put into OneDrive what I want there, and don't be putting stuff in there that I didn't, you know, don't want there. Don't be using folders and other things. Let me decide what goes in OneDrive. You know, maybe it is a money-making scheme, but the thing is that I have so many really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Genesis 8 figures, and still I prefer Genesis 9. Genesis 9 is like, every time I try to use a Genesis 8 figure in a scene, they get just completely overshadowed. Because I usually put 2 figures in a scene, and Genesis 9 will just always clobber that figure. And so what I always end up saying to myself, darn, why didn't I just use 2 Genesis 9 figures? And so what I do is I do not tell Daz they've assigned a babysitter to me, approve my comments, my help tickets, and my own gallery posts. This, you know, it's this channel, you know, if people have gripes about Daz, you know, there are so many few places that you can actually air those gripes. And so, yes, this this channel is a place that you can air some of your problems with them. My experience may not be the same as yours exactly, but you know, Genesis 9, you know, I can tell you from some of my experience that they needed to make a Genesis 9 figure, and if you there's a tutorial, okay, that you can buy in the Daz store, and it's about the differences and it's taught by this really beautiful this awesome lady. I think she's maybe like Swedish or something. She's just got this lovely, lovely accent, and she does these tutorials. And the tutorial is about, and it's called something like the differences between Genesis 8 and Genesis 9, and like the problem with the teeth, having the teeth being a separate object. I think that may be her. She is so nice, and she's part of the 3D Digitimes products line. It may not be Esha. I'm not sure. No, I don't think it is. I can tell you. I can't tell you who she is, but I can tell you when I go to my desktop here. Control D. I have this folder here, DAZ Tutorials, and in here, I can tell you the name of one of the tutorials. She also does another one on on materials. It's like the most in-depth. I mean, I was swimming in that tutorial. I couldn't it was just so much like deep information that almost every word she said I had to sit and kind of parse it through. This might be this texturing session. I'm not sure. But the one here, there's one here about the differences between Genesis 8 and Genesis 9. And this is for creators, for people who are having that. Okay, here it is. Introduction to Genesis 9, Part 1. And you should be able to hear her, I think.
Same way as for Genesis 8.
Okay, here.
So you can use that. And what I have done, I have created a custom action. So I selected the preset, right click, and created this custom action. So it sits up here in my favorites, so I can easily load that without having to go to the library.
So that's her voice. I'm not allowed to so I'm probably only allowed about like 4 seconds or so. I mean, but to be fair, because this is her content, but I am trying to sell it. So this would be Introduction to Genesis 9. So if we go to the store here, this would be here, Intro 9. Okay, today, okay, art, on one hand, I can absolutely, okay, this is it. Introduction to Genesis 9 by Esha. Yes, this is it. Okay. So you are correct. Very good of you, Eve. Okay. So today I'm going to tell you guys about a deal that I got today. Okay. Hexagon, Hexagon. All right. Now, this right here, it's submerged. There was the whole bundle. Okay, I've got to hide items I own. All right, this product right here, this Hexagon product. All right, it teaches everything about Hexagon, and this product right here is normally $210. Okay, see, this is why that is Esha, and she is awesome. She is so smart. I mean, she just like I don't even have like the knowledge in her little finger that she has, and so but this whole bundle here. It's half price right now. But guess how much I got this bundle for today, okay? This is Daz. This is Daz, I mean, for you. That's why I really can't be mad at Daz. I can't. Because on one hand, people went out and paid $200. Some people have gone out and paid $200 for this massive series, which teaches you everything you could ever want to know about Hexagon, okay? All in one tutorial. She makes this whole mermaid, the hair, everything, all in. I got it for $20 today. I got this for $20. I put it in my cart and I bought two. I had like one, I think one or two of those. What are they called? You know, those things that you get when you buy stuff. Not coupons, but and then I used this mega deal thing. Okay. I used this mega deal, and then I bought two items. If I hide items, I bought today, and I got them like dirt cheap. Oh, and this free goldenrods. I don't know if you got these wild prairie flowers, but if you're a member, you have to have your membership, I think, to get them free. But I got these. So I bought these outfit textures, and if you notice up here, it says something that because I own the outfit, I get the textures 20%, 30% off. So the textures ended up being like $1, okay? So I got these textures, but they were $11, so they counted as one of these items here that you have to have. Here it says, so if you buy two items, if you buy any new release over $5, so it says if you buy any release over $2, so coupon code, if you buy for 20% off any two items, an extra 20% off any two items. But what I did was I added, or it says if you include any new release over $5, an extra 30% off. So I put one release in my cart, and it brought it down to like $60. And I thought, all right, I'll buy it. I almost bought it. And then I thought, well, why don't I throw these textures in? And I threw them into my cart, and they were like $1. And it brought that Hexagon tutorial down to $20. And I have had that in my cart like 20 times. And I just think, oh, I don't know if I can spend $50 on that, and I don't know if I can spend. So okay, so if I go back enough here, we'll go back to this This is a massive. Is this her? Okay, this artist Archie. This is kind of old. It's not like really, really, really old, but it's kind of old. But the thing is that I just found out that Hexagon has a beta, okay? And you have to go into the Daz search the store. And if you look up Hexagon, you see you get Hexagon 2, and then you have the Hexagon beta. And what you have to do is you have to buy them. But they're both free, but you have to put them in your cart, and you have to buy them. And Hexagon 2 comes with a serial number, and you use that serial number to activate Hexagon Beta. And then instead of linking Daz Studio to Hexagon 2, you link it to Hexagon Beta, and you make sure you link it to the 64-bit version of the Hexagon Beta, because Hexagon 2 is broken. It doesn't work right. And it just doesn't. It crashes. It's buggy. It's got all kinds of problems. The Hexagon 2 Beta 32-bit is like the same as Hexagon 2.5. They're broken. It's crashed. They didn't do any work with it at all. But the Hexagon Beta 64-bit that comes with this, they did a lot of work on it, and they made it work. Okay, they fixed it so that it doesn't crash, and I was having horrible problems with it crashing. Every time I'd click on it, it would just crash, and it would pop up. Every time I'd go to edit something, it'd pop up with this error message. It wouldn't let me edit. It wouldn't let me do anything. So, but that got fixed in the 64-bit version. So now Hexagon is in the game. Okay? And now that Hexagon is in the game, that means so are these. So in my opinion is if you put a couple of items from the store into your cart, you use this mega deal coupon, okay? And don't just put it says an extra off any 2 items, okay? You get an extra 20% off any 2 items. And then you do the new release. It says buy a new release over $5. Well, in order for me to get it down to $20, I had to put 2 new releases in. So you always try that. It's like, because like what happened, it was $70 with 1 release in it, okay? It was like 60 something or $69 with 1 release. And when I put 2 releases in it, the total price of my cart went down to $40. So that meant that extra release, new release that I put in actually cut like $30 off the $40 off the price, something like that. So, so I got that new release free. So so it's just, and I can't believe now I own that Hexagon tutorial. So we'll be delving into Hexagon because Hexagon, I pretty much have what I want out of Hexagon. I don't know that I'm going to go into Hexagon and make stuff. I don't make stuff in general. I like to have my stuff already made, loaded into the scene, and say, isn't that pretty, kind of thing. So that's sort of the way I am with stuff. So I'm wondering if I should put a little bit of, okay, I was thinking about the black makeup. What do you guys think about putting some kind of like war paint on her eyes to make her look a little bit kind of warrior-like? And, is that dress really pretty enough? Or, shouldn't she be in like a gown? Or, you know what I'm saying? Is she really what you envision as the Lady of the Lake? Let's try I think, isn't war paint one word? Let's try some war paint. Here we go. Let's go here and see what this is for. It's probably not going to work for Genesis. 9. You think so? I think something that gives her, for Genesis 8 female. See, I don't think that will work, but I do think I have some war paint for Genesis 9. Let's try the filter by context. War paint. Let's say makeup. Oh, here we go. Genesis 9 makeup. Here we go. See, this is what's nice about Genesis 9 is this is made for Ethan, but it'll work for her because that Genesis 9 and Genesis 8 are both they're the same. See, so I mean, you know, I agree. It's, you know, that the Genesis 9 is a money scheme, but it's also like you know, it's also like a massive boom for us artists who are here we go. Who are doing okay, and let's put this little lip line here. And should we give her the black lips? Art, you have a wonderful evening. What is left of it? It is 12 o'clock. Well, as you can see, I'm on the final, you know. I was thinking maybe of putting some kind of little ripple around her dress to put, you know, that she's walking ahead, some kind of disturbance. A little to the left. Okay, so you mean so the sword, okay. Let me see what we have. Let's try it. Okay. I'm wondering if I should give her the black lips as well. All right, let's try this. Why this way, like this? Yeah, we could go like this and then turn her head a little so she's still looking at us. Okay. There we go. Very good advice. Because now we can see a little bit of that broad side of the sword as well. I may have to turn her head because she's not quite looking at us. Have a wonderful night, Art. Thank you for tuning in as long as you have here. It's very nice to have you here. Yeah, and the sword is... Oh, that is so much better. That is so much better, Eve. It's much more dramatic now. Much, much, much. Now her eyes are a little bit kind of starey, and so I'm going to make her blink a little bit. Just bring her eyes down, or maybe her head down a little bit, so she doesn't look like kind of like she's in some kind of ecstatic. So we'll bend her head down a little bit like this. So she's looking straight ahead. I'm going to turn her a little bit more, not like that, but like this. So she's looking right at us. And then we'll go into her morphs. We're going to use blink. And just so she looks a little more relaxed, kind of like, there we go. It makes her look more regal than like kind of like the, you know, because I mean, I thought maybe I'll have the swamp lady come out of the, you know, out of the water. And then I thought, no, let's do the Camelot thing. It was like, hi, I'm the swamp lady. I'm the swamp hag. And I thought, no, you know, let's do something a little bit more, a little more regal. So there we go. Okay, so yeah. It does bring another layer of speculation now to the whole of who she is. Now, I think her clothing here is poking through. Here I'm seeing something kind of odd here. So we're going to go with Mesh Grabber. I think I've got to pull this out a little bit. There's something going on here. So we'll go to Tool Settings, Mesh Grabber. It only takes a second to pull this out a little bit. Just see what, I think there's something up there. Now we'll go back to the camera. And let's see. Let's go back to our I think the sword is going right through her fingers. I've got to kind of look at her hands. So, and I think also I've got to turn this into the memory. I don't think I want to give her black lips. I think her lips are just beautiful, and I still want her to have a little bit of beauty there too. And you know, I couldn't see her. Okay, I think this is a I think I'm going to try to take some of the shine off of her vest. There's something going on here that I don't know what this is, and let's go back to the let's turn off. Let's go back to Ultra Scenery so I can maneuver around the scene a little better. And we'll turn off our foliage. Hide-ecologies. This should make it a little easier for us to get around. Okay, and I'm going to go to this render settings. We're going to go to optimization. We're going to turn this to memory. It says auto, so it may have been on memory all along, but we're going to switch that to memory. There's something going on. I think it's just the sun is catching her. She's got like a leather vest, and I think I'd rather this vest be... okay, let's see what's happening when we get up close. Yeah, I think it's just catching the sun catching this. So I'm going to take some of the shine off of this vest. I mean, it makes it look like it's kind of wet, but I don't really need it to look that wet. You know, it's she is what she is. Her hair's not wet. She's mystical. She doesn't get wet when she's in the water. She's above that. She's part of the element. So we're going to go here, and we're going to go to her where is her bracelet, hair, scalp, gown? I guess that's part of her gown, but necklace, sandals. Is this it? No. Bracelet, the gown. Okay, that's all one big piece. So what we have to do is go here into surfaces and look at all the different parts. Bodice, I think that's it. The shirt. Maybe that's it. Let's see. Let's go to, all right. Is this base color? This is Iray. Okay, so what happens when we take this off? Okay, that says skirt. I always read skirt like shirt. Okay, so it's this. And so what we're going to, we'll just turn it off and back on and see if we got the right thing. I like how she looks so powerful. She looks like she could be Arthur. She's that powerful that she could actually be the hero of this story. Okay, this seems to be working. Oh, and then there's the collar. Okay, so this is the exact part that I want to get the shine off of. We do that by adding, okay, we got glossy roughness is like way up. It's all the way up, but the thing is that this is weird. Glossy color, we just make it black. There it is. Or maybe we could make it kind of like a gray. Give it a little bit of shine there. No, I just think black is better. It doesn't distract you from her. There we go. All right. So we go back to, I think this is getting close to done. Now, there's one other possibility that we could do with this scene, and that is, like I said, I use SickleYield's products in almost every scene that I make, and that's why it's a double-edged sword. It's like I use so many of SickleYields and RISI, RSSY. I use so many of their products, and this just one product is like, it's like running up against a brick wall. It just kills your entire library. Just wow. with just like garbage conversions that just don't work at all. So we are looking for VDB, and let's try this. Props, and we'll go with this one. And where is it? It's, oh wow, it's just showing a little bit right now. Okay, 8. Let's go here. Okay, now I can bring this up while. What have we got? Oh, that's a lot. We just want a tiny bit. I mean, I couldn't live without this fog. I mean, this is the SickleYield's fog and her magic effects are the best. Okay, this the best you can get. Yeah, it's the best of the best of the best. And let's just see what that looks like. Well, what happened to it? Oh, I know what's wrong. I have to turn off my one of my graphics cards doesn't show. Doesn't show VDBs. It's got a problem. Like it just cuts off half of the scene. There it is. Okay, so what we do is now we turn ultrascene back, our ultrascene stuff back on, and see if this is acceptable. I mean, I love the reflection, but I just want to have a little bit of mist. See if this works. Okay. Okay, I don't see the mist. It's probably there, but it's just not up high enough. Okay, so let's grab this and pull it up a little more. Let's see what that does. There we go. That's it. That's our scene. And okay. All right, so I'm going to save this, which is going to take a long time again. I hope this isn't like going to be for every scene having to wait like 10 minutes. Do you like the fog? Yeah, I think that works. If that's this product, it's SickleYield Real Fog. I use these in almost every single scene that I make. SY. Okay, these two right here, these two products are like the cornerstone of my VDBs. Yeah, because and the lake still has that glossy shine, but it's just just enough to give it. These products, you know, now this, you know, it's like I probably would advise not even to buy the hair converter if it was on sale for $5. But these two products here, they're worth $24 each, you know. Yes, they go on sale. I probably only paid maybe $10 or $8 for them, you know, each. I think actually I paid, when this came out, I probably got 30% off. I probably paid about $15 for it or something maybe. So they're, but both of these are the best VDBs there are. These particular, like the ones that I use a lot, I use this one and this one a lot. These little, and I use, this one is really nice. This one is really nice. And the poof is like, oh my gosh, you can just put that in a street and make it look like London fog. This is just, and you just have to turn down the density to wherever you need it to be. And this is a nice one also here. She knows how to make and when you like if you look at the artistry, I don't know if she like took a little brush and painted little teeny tiny and spent like, you know, a month, you know, just putting but it shows in the fog. There's a realism. She didn't just like make a VDB, you know. She put, there's a certain kind of massive artistry that's within these. And here, look at this, a fog wall. You have a fog wall here, and then you have this round kind of fog thing. You have this fog circle that you can do like for a wizard, put the wizard in the middle kind of thing. This again, this. These are all amazing. Yeah. I use these. That's probably the poof right there. I use these, and for some reason this doesn't really look. It doesn't show this as well. I mean, she's probably spent so much time making the poof that the art, using it in art was like the last thing that she wanted to do. But these are amazing products. They are so, look, this is really nice in here. So, I mean, I think this could even be better because her fog, it just doesn't show. This kind of does. This does show off how beautiful these products are. I can't recommend these enough. These two this is the older one, and this right here is the newer one. And these are amazing. She has more of them. She has a newer product also, but this particular product, this has only been out, like, it's only been out for maybe 6-8 months. So this is not been out. Look, this fog wall here. Look at these. They are just, it's like some of these I would never use, but this I would use right here. This is just utterly beautiful, and the way it captures the light in the scene. This is just really amazing. Yeah, I can't imagine. I would wait until they go on sale. Or if you have a bunch of tokens, okay, but this one this one's kind of become my favorite lately. This is the one that I used in my scene today, and I like this one because she did it a little differently, where there aren't like 3 nested. Like, you don't have to click 3 I'm that lazy, where, it's a group where the fog is in this group, and then there's another group, and then there's the fog where you can go into surfaces and edit the fog and all. But with this particular product, it's only in one group. So you just one down, and there's your fog, and you click on surfaces and you edit the density. So this one is like, it's just that much easier. It's one click easier to do it, and that to me means a lot. So, but they're both equal. The fog's just as equal in both. But this right here and those are amazing, because you can just make them just barely visible. And they are amazing. And this one has got a little cutout here. This one is probably it's going to be your most usable. Like this one right here, and this. These are scene fogs. And the poof, this one is going to have probably your most usable stuff in it. But there's just something amazing about the textures, that she really kind of recreated her fog ability with this product. So I would recommend getting them both when you can. When you can get them. This is the fog. I don't even go to any other fog unless I need something really weird. This is where I get my fog. There's just no doubt whatsoever in my mind that that's where I get my fog. So now the spotlight, I think I could maybe give the spotlight a tiny bit more light to just make her pop out a little more. Yeah, that's my go-to fog products. And I mean, they're real VDB. They're not like SickleYield. I mean, she has been making fog since, when fog was invented for 3D. She's been making like complex fogs, but all of it was like planes. It was the old style fog where you had all these planes, and if you turned your light the wrong way, it would like light up the plane, and it just didn't quite. You had to always get your light pointing the right way at that plane type of fog to get it to work. But yeah. But it was, it is funny to think back on the fog, but now with these VDB fogs, she's been able to just really concentrate. And notice like the little teeny kind of, I don't know, she gets there with this little teeny brush or something, and she creates this fog like in a beautiful, like she paints it in a, I don't know how she does it, but she makes this fog look so beautiful. And that's why that's why I can always, if the fog scene really calls for fog, you'll find the right fog in those collections. You'll find the right fog, and it's a different little model every time. Sometimes it's the poof. Gossamer. Who's Gossamer? I have to look it up. Echo, who's Gossamer?
Gossamer is a Warner Brothers Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies character. He is a huge, hairy, orange or red monster.
Is a Looney Tunes character? That's funny. That's funny. Okay, I think we're gonna just go with take my spotlight and just bump it up a tiny bit. No, sheer. I'm not sure what you mean. Light, blink, spotlight. Okay, we're gonna bring this up to, let's try 6 and see what happens. Let's make it a little more intense on her, so she stands out a little more. Oh, okay. I think it's like a description for the fog. I think that's what you're saying. Okay, I think we've got it here. So let's start. Okay, I'm going to save this. I think that was that brightness brought her out a little more. I wonder if I like overdid it a little bit and kind of gave her a really nice, like, go 9. Yeah, I think yes, like Gaussian, okay, like a blur. I think I know what you mean now. Okay, that just brought her out a little bit more too. But I think it makes her a little too yellow, so we'll take some of the yellow out of the temperature of the light. There we go. There she is. And now we're going to save it. You know, it's almost like that she is like the reason why everything happens. That there's some story there with her that and it's her story that, and the power behind maybe her justice and her getting justice of why everything has happened the way it has. Now, I'm seeing that her eyes look a little crossed, like her right eye is pointing in a little bit. And I think I'm going to just move it over a little bit as soon as this is done. Yeah, her right eye. If you notice that she looks a little bit Latin, And they do that. The Daz artists, they do that with Latin people. They take one of their eyes and they make it, because Latin people, some, like I've had, Puerto Rican friends and everything, and they'd have that one eye that would kind of like veer off, and it's part of their character. like some people have big nose, some races have big noses, and some people like Armenians have these big noses, and everybody, and there's that eye, that Latin eye, that kind of, and they did that with I think of Pablo. They do that with Latin characters. They'll take and pull the eye in a little bit so that it's kind of got that like Diablo look. And I usually go in and kind of fix it. It's just because sometimes I think they exaggerate it a little bit too much. And so, but just beware that some characters, they don't always make the eyes symmetrical. If they're supposed to be a Latin character, there's a, it's a something that these artists, they all get together and collaborate on and say, well, for a certain, this race, their eyes, they flap over, and they, and for another race, they get the lazy eye that kind of looks in, like, and so just keep that in mind when you're with your renders and all, with your characters. So, and I mentioned also about that the greatest like passion that you can have in experience with Daz is with your characters. They are the most titillating, I guess, or the most exciting part of making 3D is the love you have for your characters. Now, making ultra scenery is probably the next greatest awesome thing that there is, but but the human characters they're above that. They are, and the reason why I can say that is because when I make music, and I love the sound of a piano, and I love the sound of a string quartet, but there's nothing that I love more than the sound of the human voice. There's no instrument out there any more beautiful than like a choir of altos or something, all going, ooh, or something. There's, and so when I'm making a song and I say, well, what does this song need? Does it need a piano, maybe a banjo, maybe a harmonica, or some other, but the first thing my mind says is, can I use the human voice? Can I put the human voice in here? Because that will always be a better instrument. So, and so that's why I say that it is the character. So I don't know what I'm going to do. It's like I finally got rid of all that hair garbage in my thing, and now I've got a problem with my Daz knot. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on this eye. So I selected the head. We're going to go to perspective. Okay, we need this eye here. Okay, get me closer. I've got something here in the way. All right, let's take the head and turn it off. Can I get the eye? Now it won't let me. Oh, Genesis 9 eyes. Why won't it let me select the eye? Okay, Genesis 9 eyes. Let's see what happens here with eyes. Yes, they are kind of. Iris size. Why can't I just select the eye? This is strange. Okay. 9 eyes. Okay, I've got to find out how to. Iris size, eye pupil. This might have something to do. Okay, pupil star. It's this. There's a bunch of. Iris insert. Why can't I select the eye? Anybody, any help here? Okay, all right, now I've done something. Z. Edit. Okay. Usually you can just select the eyes. What's wrong here? Let's try this. Let's go to the AI. Why can't I select Genesis 9 eyes? Wow. We set up to support eyeball rigging. Sometimes morphs may be intentional. Okay, that makes sense. So if we turn the geoshell off, where's the geoshell? It could be on the tier. It could be the tier. All right, where? Let's try turning the tier, make the tier off, turn the tier off. No, that didn't work. I think you are right. I've never had that happen before. Okay, moxing eyebrows. Okay, scalp bracelet. No, actually, it was a. It wasn't. I don't think it was a geoshell. It was a. Oh, what are they called? It was a layer, like a layered. I can't think of the name of it now. So, yeah, because I'm not seeing a geoshell here. Usually it's right in here. Now, it could, I mean, it could be this wisp array. It seems to be in the way. Head. Right ear. Left eye. Okay, I got it now. Okay, I forgot. You don't use these those are to do the morphs. But the actual eye is right here. Okay. So now we can move them. I think they're just kind of narrow, too close together. So if I just go them side to side a little bit like this. And this one, okay, it's not going to let me select them. I don't know why, but I usually just click on them and they... I think that looks better. Okay, right. Left eye. Okay, let's see what we look like from our camera. Okay, we can close this down. This Copilot is the new Windows Copilot. Look how detailed. It's like, whoa, I didn't expect that to come out for Daz Studio. You get any problem with it, point at, Genesis size 9, I set the point at, left, right, eye, focus, null objects. If there are any pending updates for Genesis 9 characters, morphs and parameters using the partial morphs such as MSO models. It's like, wow, this Copilot just put me to shame. So yeah, I think I can already tell that this is better. Yeah, now I don't get that thing with the eyes. Let's see what it looks like in Iray. In Iray. A little pun. Yeah, I thought it was the fog too. I thought the fog, but it was allowing me to select her head. And that's what kind of made me think it wasn't the fog. But it won't let me select her eyes. The only way to select them is manually. So I think you're right. There's some kind of... Yeah, now that looks right. There's still a tiny bit of that going on with her eyes, but it's not like it was. I think the right eye looks like it's up in the air too high, like looking up. The right eye's got to come down a little bit. Perspective. It's just maybe the angle. Okay, we select the head. Now, if I come over here, oh, it's really weird because they're not shut off. Okay, I'm just going to bring this eye down a little bit. The Genesis 9 eyes really respond differently than the Genesis 8 eyes. When you move them around, it moves the whole like eyebrow with them, and it's kind of weird. I will say that it's, yes, there's the money element in creating Genesis 9, because when they created Genesis 9, they did it so that it would be more of a standardized character, so that it would work with like Unreal Engine and work with Character Creator and work with, so that there were more consistencies with those other platforms, which allows Genesis 9 figures to be where people might actually buy them, so they can bring them into Character Creator, so they can use them in these other places. So there, and who's going to really blame a company for wanting to, to work on multiple platforms? So I don't find fault in that, in them figuring that. But what's really nice is that like putting the characters, so I can just take the male face makeup and put it on her, or I can take any female garment or hair or anything and put it on a male, just like that. There's no conversion needed. And like I said, when I bring in okay, I can live with those eyes now. When I bring in, I think it's the face mascara makeup that's kind of throwing them off a little bit. So, constraints for looking. No, I don't use them, because I find that when I do that, that their eyes kind of point together, because the camera is like one point. And I stopped using them way early in the game. I turn their head until I get this, like, something in me says, okay, they're looking at me, and I tilt it up and down until I feel like she's not looking directly at me, like right now. I feel like she's really not looking into the camera, but it's okay if she kind of looks over the camera, like she's looking at something else, and like she's not quite looking at me. I don't know. Maybe it would be better if she was looking, but I think the fact that she's a little bit aloof adds to the look. So, because if I turned her head a little bit more to the right and maybe turned it down a little, it would be very apparent that she's looking right at the camera, but she's not looking at the camera. And, I can always, with my character, just turn their head the way just right, and capture that look directly at the camera. And then I don't have their eyes, like, because if you turn their head too much, then that one eye on the side, on the side is gonna, this side It's going to look, it just doesn't look right when I put them together. I like to be able to have them free and, yeah, I think she's beautiful. I think this is just a very good, a good thing. Now we have her like arm here. It's like her arm is missing. The sword is doing something with her arm. And if I take here and go to my, I can make that go away. You see, that's the shadow of the sword. And if I go to my spotlight, surfaces, to parameters, and spotlight, and if I take this width and height, and I bring this out a little bit, and I change this to, let's say, disk, and then I move this out to like let's say 20, and we'll move this one out to 20. Okay, and now we go back to Iray. That should be gone, because what that does is instead of the spotlight being a little point, which makes hard shadows, that when you spread that light out, it becomes kind of like a mesh light instead. And the wider the source of light, the softer your shadows become. And the same goes for your sun in the sky and your HDRI. Okay, so we can make that a little bigger, and we make it bigger until it goes away. Okay, what happened to my fog? Did I turn off my fog or do something with it? Sometimes switching a light like that can well, let's just hope the fog is still there. Now it's a little softer, but it still looks like she has a hole in her arm. So I'm going to go back to the spotlight. And we're going to make that base a little larger. Let's go to 30. Okay, I think I know what's happening here. I think what's happening is it's creating this big gigantic box. If I step back from the scene, see this big round circle? That's the box of the light, because when you make that larger, it's actually a visible thing. And it's not invisible. And so what we're going to do is take this spotlight right out of the scene. Now when I take that out, she'll get darker, but I think my fog will come back, because it's just creating this big blank spot here. Well, my fog didn't come back. Oh, because I turned it off? Okay, let's turn it back on. Having all kinds of issues here. Okay, the fog came back. That's weird. And it's because now that light is gone, my camera has become the main light. So what we do now is we go to Smart Content, and I'm going to show you another product. If you don't have this, you need it. Okay, Ghost lights. You probably have Ghost lights, but there's an older product, and I think they stopped selling it in the store because it doesn't work anymore, or at least it doesn't work like it used to. I don't think you can buy this Ghost Light Kit 3, but this is Ghost Light Kit 1, and this is the latest one that they've come out with. And this is an amazing. Now this apparently is newer even. I've not used this one yet, but this I know how to use this product here. We go to props, and we'll use the I think I'll use this square one here. Okay, and as soon as I put that in, the camera light will turn off. And then we go to 9. And I think it's laying on the ground now, the square light. So we're out of here. We got to bring the square light up from the ground. Where is it? Okay, let's go to our perspective view. Where's the square light? Okay, it's way down under the ground. It's way over here. Let's move. Where is she? She is... Where did she go? Oh, I think I saw her. Okay, she's way over here. So let's bring the light ahead here. And we go back. See, the reason why, you know, I think she was ready and it was all done, but that thing about her arm, okay, that shadow hitting her arm, okay, the reason why I took that as being a very serious thing is because when you make a scene, you get used to the scene. You get used to things. You get used to the shadow that's in the scene, and you don't notice it anymore. And I've shown my art to people before and had them say, when I looked at it, I thought she had a hole in her arm, you know, because it's like those optical illusions where one person will see something one way and another person will see something another way. And the shadow was just too hard. Okay, zip, Z. The shat, okay, why is it going that way? All right, we've got a, the only problem with these darn lights is you can't see, you can't see through them like you can a spotlight. You have to line it up. Okay, I can do a look at with this now, I believe. Point at, let's point it at her. Okay. And then we're going to move it. We'll move it over here. Move it up. Okay, like that. Don't want it too high or else it'll cause shadows under her eyes. Okay, we'll see how far away it is from her. Let's hide. This, I guess we'll just hide that for now. Okay, it doesn't matter if we have this in front of her or behind her or wherever because I wanted it coming from the side. Okay, Z, Y. Oh, that's the array. We don't want to move the array. We want to move the light. Okay, I wanted it coming from the side so it looks like the sun kind of coming from the side. All right, now we go back to our camera view. Let's see what this light looks like. We can give it some, this is in surfaces, not parameters, where the illums are. Yeah, so this ghost light, product. That's this one. Now this is newer, even newer, I think. But this is the Ghost Light Kit. Who made this? This is Kindred Arts. This gives you every kind of ghost light you can imagine. And they really should have given some more pictures. They only have like one picture here. This is a massive, massive product. Okay, it's on sale for $10. Buy it, and you will use them whenever you need to put a wide light in the scene that's not going to cause a shadow. They're mesh lights. Now this may be another Ghost Light Kit. I own this. Look at this. This is massive also. You've got your, oh, this is another. It is newer. This may be the one to buy. I think I just got this. These are massive ghost lights, and there's something special about this kit. It's got something else about, oh, because look at it's got like ghost lights that have funky patterns in them. Yeah, this is probably a better Ghost Light Kit. And this one is really new, very new. It's not on sale yet. This is Esha again. This is, she's been coming up. This is a massive, awesome product. I have never used this yet, but I do own it. But I can definitely vouch for this product. This Ghost Light product came out after DAZ 2.0, 4.0, when they had that problem with transparencies. This was made because all of our ghost lights kind of stopped working right. You had to go in and dicker with the translucency to make them disappear again. And so this came out after that change to DAZ, so you won't have any problems with this kit working flawlessly in DAZ. They don't even sell the old one anymore. They got rid of it. But I own it still. Okay, now she's too bright, and that's because these ghost lights come kind of supercharged. And we'll just turn it down a little bit. Look at the lumens on them. They had to like lower them a lot to make them work. Now I don't see any shadow on her arm though, so that's gone. Okay, there we go. All right, we're getting somewhere here. She's still too bright. Yeah, well, they did change it again. Because when 4.0 came out, that was when I heard they changed it and made the ghost. Yeah, that was when I think that's when the change came. Was with okay, this is taking forever to work. Okay, we're going to turn this down and we'll make this a 5 and see what happens. So I'll have to look into that. Oh, yes, they did. They changed mesh. They added more functionality. They didn't change the ghost lights, okay? Like these ghost light products still work the same way. You are very right about that. They did change the ghost lights, but what they did was they enabled you to turn a mesh light into a ghost light. So I mean, if you don't mind the work, you can change a mesh light. I think my camera is ignoring this ghost light and turning on, because this is my camera I just have to go in and turn. This is not the ghost light. This is my camera blowing the scene away. All right, so we got to find the camera and turn off the auto. Yeah, they made you're fine. You threw me for a loop for a moment, and I thought, oh no, God, I hope they didn't. But you're right about that, though. You are very right. They did make a change to ghost lights, and they added functionality to mesh lights so that you can turn them into oh, here are all my ghost lights here. Wow, I made a ghost light. I forgot I made that. Put all my ghost lights in this little easy to get at thing. So we're looking to unlock the camera so I can go in here and turn off headlamp. Off. Okay, that's something to realize, that a ghost light doesn't count as a scene light. So, you know, I mean, she looks fine with just the natural light with the light off. But the thing is that it just makes the whole scene kind of dark and not stand out. Nobody will notice it in the gallery. They'll just kind of look over it. They won't notice it unless I make it kind of pop out a little bit. So, so we're going to go back here to our luminance again. Now we're going to add these back. 0, 1. I'll try that. She's got to pop out a little bit in the scene. Okay, a little bit more, maybe. Let's go here. Let's make that a 9. Feels like Independence Day. All right, now she's standing out. Okay, and guess what? We have a nice soft shadow now on her arm. So we don't have that massive shadow. We do still have a little bit of a shadow, like one side of her face is a little bit a little subdued. That's what we want. Now we can turn back on our wisp. See if that still works. Our fog. Awesome. There's our fog. I think that's our scene. And now we don't have this gigantic hole blocking the light, every bit of light. It's amazing how light works. Light works. You know, it's amazing, you know, when you think that light can actually bounce around a corner. If it bounces off things and goes around corners. Yeah, I think we've got it here. Yeah, I like how she looks pale. Normally, I like to make my characters... Okay, the only thing is I think the sword's going through her hand now. And so I have to... I'm going to turn off... I'm going to select this and turn off the land again so I can kind of work with her fingers without everything being... So we'll go here to Ultra Scenery, hide the ecologies, just so I can move around a little bit better, okay? And we're going to select her hand and zoom in, see what's going on here. Yeah, because, see, I told... Daz to put the sword in her right hand, and so it put that pose there properly. It didn't take into account that her left hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, and she does have, I didn't notice her bracelet there. Okay, bend this. Oh, there we got it pretty much here. There, now we just move her thumb up a little bit. Bend that back like this. and bend it ahead here. Perfect. Now, not quite. We got a finger. You know, it's like these things that people can't see, I still fix them anyway. I figure someday, you know, they're going to take all my project files and turn them into animations or something, and they're going to find out, oh, I didn't, he doesn't have a shirt in the back or something, you know. It's just, I try to make my figures anatomically work, and so that they are made well. And this isn't working. Let's see if we can pull this side to side here. Pull this finger down a little bit like that, and we're going to twist. We'll pull this finger down a little bit like that, side to side. We're going to twist it like this. Let's close this finger a little bit. Bend that. Something better than in the middle. We can drive it home with one headlight. Okay, side to side. Okay, what we could do is just do, oh, we can't because the thumb's going to go through there then. We can just bring this finger down a little more like this. And bring this one down a little more like that. And then I think we've got it. Okay, and bend that in a little bit. Okay. At least it's not like it was. Can we bend this in a little bit more? Okay. We pull this in a little more. There we go. There we go. And let's make sure her clothing is all... I think this hair needs to be like dForce, you know, like some sort of simulation. I could probably run a simulation, just see what, let's save this and run a quick simulation and see if her clothes just kind of hang a little better off of her. It's always better if her clothes look more natural. And her hair looks like it's hanging better. It's always better, usually. They may not even be dForce, but let's try a simulation, see what happens. I'm not going to do it from the beginning pose because I think it'll simulate the way she is. I found out, my hands get really like, they get like dry, and then the cuticles and my nails, they start to like get this tension in them, and I start biting them and they start getting this like really nervous tension in them. And I try all these like creams and everything on my hands to see, to see if it's just dry skin and everything. And I use like expensive creams and like shea butters. I mean, I bought creams that were like $60 for a little tub of it and stuff. I bought all kinds of creams and just to try, and you know, I put it on and it's just like and that tension is just like underneath the cream. It just doesn't do anything. And the other day I put this Retin A cream on my hands, and it was just the minute I put, and I've had it, you know, I've had it a long time. I just never noticed that it's like the cure for my hands. And I put this retinol cream on my hands, and it just instantly, all that tension and all that nervousness and all the cuticles just like itching and freaking out, they just stopped. And so, and also I kind of had a little bit of like flakiness on the back, like scaling on the back of my hand. And it just kind of went away. So I believe that I am deficient. And then I looked up to see about Retin A, if you could take it as a supplement. And it said you can, but it's usually for acne and stuff. But they said that Retin A is a form of vitamin A. And so I believe I have even though they said you can get most of your vitamin A from your diet, I had this stomach surgery where I only have like 1/3 of my stomach. And so when I eat things, it just doesn't get digested. It just goes right through me. And so I don't get enough vitamins from the food I eat. And so I don't believe I'm getting enough vitamin A. So I ordered some vitamin A, and I'm going to be taking supplements of vitamin A. And I hope it's going to help my hands, because they get so itchy, and so that I'll just start gnawing on them and biting them and trying to release this tension in my hands. And I think part of it is because when I go and I wash dishes every day, and I use like Dawn dish soap, and I, you know, to wash my dishes. I have a dishwasher, but I don't like to use it. I just like to wash my dishes by hand, and so I try to wear gloves, and if I don't, then it gets really bad. Like my nails my hands just dry right out. So if you have problems with your skin on your hands being dry and your fingernails being kind of brittle and your cuticles kind of itching, and you want to kind of keep kind of like putting them in your mouth and trying to release some kind of tension in your fingers, I got it on Amazon. It comes in a little pump bottle, and it's got Retin A. And it's not that expensive. It's got a nice smell to it. And you can also use it on your neck and your face. And it helps, like my neck looks like an alligator kind of neck, alligator skin. So it just kind of just takes the tension out of your skin. And so I've been thinking about taking vitamin A, which they said if you take Retin A as a pill, yes, it is. It is good. If you take Retin A as in pill form, your body breaks it down into vitamin A. So it's like, why not? So then it just kind of occurred to me that yeah, it is. It's like I got this like alligator neck. And so it's my alligator neck. So, and you can't tell, but it's there. And so I've got some coming in the mail now. My vitamin A. I have a feeling that has been my problem for like my entire life, is vitamin A. So, all right, we're ready Now I just saved this. I can go into the render settings now. Editor. Let's go to the editor and go to general. And we're 16 by 9. Let's put this at like 4,000. 4,000. Okay, Z, undo that. We have to turn the proportions back on. Okay. Now we'll go 4,000. And then we'll render it by 16 by 9. That's what we've had it set at. Then I go into optimization, into progressive, turn up maximum samples, maximum time, and turn off the render quality. I do this every time I render. You always turn up maximum samples, maximum time, and turn off render quality. Then it'll just keep rendering and rendering and rendering and rendering and rendering until you stop it. So that's what we want. Now I'm wondering, I was going to do a simulation. That's right. We're going to try a simulation, just see if maybe her hair kind of falls a little bit better on her. I kind of like the way it is, but let's just see what happens. So let's turn the initialization off so that she doesn't go into original pose. And let's try simulate and see what happens. Something's happening. The gown is definitely dForce. Okay, her hair is dForce too. Maybe if her hair kind of looked a little bit, like it's hanging better, it would seem like she sort of just came out of the water rather than out of like Miss Clairol commercial with it blowing in the wind kind of thing. It would be kind of, I think she's going to look a little bit more like her hair is kind of guarding her, like it's part of her. Now we got a little bit of poke through. I might have to use, I should have probably done it at the high quality. I might have to pull her, maybe the smoothing will fix it. But that is like the worst case of poke through from this. Now the water is going through her dress, so it could explode. I probably should have turned the water off before I did this. And look, something weird is maybe going on with her hair behind here. It looks like, yeah, see her hair is just like drooping way down. It's something really bad. This isn't going to work. Now I could turn it off on her hair or go back a little bit, put the timeline on, but her hair is not supposed to be dripping down like spaghetti. So this isn't working. Something's really bad. We'll just cancel this. We're going to go back to the way it was. It's just not working. Now I could do them separately and maybe it would work, but let's just clear this. That's the way it's going to be. It does kind of it looks more like princess hair this way. The other way it seemed like a little bit more like her hair rather than, but this still looks fine. So, and it's already saved, so we're ready to do a render now. Make sure that my fog is turned on, yeah. The fog is turned on. Okay, so we're ready to render. Let's see what we got. Oh, that was quick. It just jumped right into the iterations. Have I got the, well, it's no wonder. I've got the I've got the scenery turned off. Cancel this. Wow, the ground looks so nice here. That is that beautiful looking earth for the Okay, so we got to turn back the, no wonder why it was responding so quickly. Okay, ultra scenery. Let's turn this back on. Ultra scenery show ecology. Okay, I could save it again, but I might as well save it. It's going to take a while, but I like my scene to be saved the way I render it. Okay, failed to save. Okay, and that is because of iCloud is trying to save, upload it to the cloud. Let's try again. Control S. All right. We'll just render it. We'll save it. I'll have to remember to save it after, like tomorrow morning or whatever. Let's see what this looks like. Lady of the Lake. It's going to take a little longer for it to go to the first iteration with all the scenery in there now. It should still go pretty fast. I'm only rendering with one of my graphics cards, because my other graphics card doesn't like, let's see how quickly it does these. That's pretty fast. Those iterations are coming pretty fast. I usually shoot for about 2,000 iterations. Look at the reflection. This is going to be so beautiful. Now, I always render it very large, because if there's any problems, I'm going to notice it, like she doesn't have eyelashes kind of problem or something. I'm going to notice these problems, or like her hair is going through her shirt kind of thing. That was weird, her hair just like spaghettiing down the front of her. Never seen that before. Definitely something to do with, now this I had to fit, this was Genesis 9 hair, I think, too. It shouldn't have, I don't think I had to fit it to her. So it shouldn't, the weight map shouldn't have, like, of her body shouldn't have caused that to happen. So her hair looks, her scalp looks good. Her eyes kind of look a little bit like pulled, like wide, but I think it works with her. It's having trouble reticulating. Oh, look at these ferns. They're all beautiful. It's having trouble dealing with the light. It's going to take hours, like at least 2,000. This doesn't look like it's reticulating at all. It should snap in a moment and maybe like come in, but yeah, it's having a lot of trouble with the fog and the lights, because it's got three lights. It's got three lights in the scene. One light is the ghost light. The other is the HDRI light. And then this plane in the back, this is the one that's causing all the problems. This plane in the back of the scene. Oh, something's wrong. Yeah, something's wrong. I'm not looking through my camera. I'm like looking through, it's like rendering from the perspective view. Yeah, okay, camera. That might help. Can we save this now? It's probably uploaded now to the cloud. No. I'm going to save this as Lady of the Lake 2 scene. See if it saves faster. Look at that. Done. Okay, so there was something weird about the template that I was saving that as. All right, so we're ready to render this now. Okay. It popped up when I went and asked to save it. It popped up and it asked if I wanted to save it in some kind of odd thing, and I was like, I don't remember it ever asking me to do that to save. So, but that's good because that means one more problem seems to be gone. All right, let's see what happens now. Because I noticed like the trees were cut off. I couldn't see the background. Now let's see, maybe it'll reticulate better, but now we can see the trees in the background and all. But yes, this background, I love the light on this tree here. The background plane is also an emission. It's very low emission, but it is an emission. I could light it up to actually add some backlight to this, but I think it's fine. Okay, this is going to be really nice. This is going to take a long time to render. When I add these background scenes, sometimes it can take up to 6,000 iterations for it to render. Now, I think I turned off her. See, I have to cancel this again. Because I think I turned off her tear so I could reach her eyes. And I may not have turned them back on. Okay, can we get this back? Because it doesn't look like her tear. Yeah, that's turned on. I just wanted to make sure that wasn't turned off. Okay. Everything, the fog is turned on. Everything in the scene is on. Ultra scenery. I'm not going to... Angus, you have a wonderful evening, my friend. Thank you for hanging out for 3 hours and 18 minutes. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely night. Have a lovely sleep. And yeah, 1:30 in the morning. It's been very nice having you here. We're going to have a little bit of polka time for Angus. Thank you. So, yes. And that's polka time also for Art. He's probably snoring away, Art and Angus. And I'm going to be snoring away really soon, probably within the next 15 minutes. It's late. It is. So I will be back again soon. So we are going to hit render now, where everything is saved. This is the only thing I'm thinking is, should I make her look at the camera? I kind of like this look of her looking at something else. So I'm gonna, normally I have my figures look right at the camera, but this one I'm gonna let her have her own kind of, she's gonna look at what she wants to look at kind of thing. She's looking at something or someone else, or she's thinking, you know, she's speculating, and she had in her own space, kind of. So I like that about this. So all right, let's see what we have. This is going to be it. Oh, we got 2 of these open. Which one is the one open? I got to close them. I don't know which one is the right one here. Okay, this one's definitely closed. Okay, let's do this again. Close that one. We can't have 2 render windows open. Here we go. Here we go. So Angus is off to bed. Very nice. Awesome, awesome. So if you take any tip from tonight, it's about the in the ultra scenery. Ultra scenery, just to kind of ultra scenery, it's worth buying into the franchise. And I was using a 1080 Ti with ultra scenery. If you have a 1080 Ti or anything more powerful than that, like an RTX card, you should be able to do okay. You should probably have at least like 10 or 11 gigs of video memory to do ultra scenery. You can turn off some of the herbage and stuff in here, and it will let you, then you could still make some scenery if you turn off some of the herbage. You have to use the camera, so it only populates where the camera is pointing, but that still can create a huge scene. So you really want to have ultra scenery alone can take up, 2 and 3 gigs of your video memory. It sometimes even more. Yeah. Oh, 16 gigs. Yeah, you would be able to use ultra scenery, because I did it with 11. So 16 gigs, and I did it with a much weaker card. Yeah, I had 11 gigs with my 1080 Ti, and I did a lot of ultra scenery stuff. And there are workarounds because you can create a scene that can even even like if you try to populate the entire, even if I do that now, if I try to populate the entire piece of land and don't relegate it to the camera only, I can throw my system into a loop. So this is so I would suggest, I like the fact that the leather is still shiny, and this looks like a kind of a velvet or a lacy velvet. So this looks nice. And yeah, this is very beautiful. And this is going to reticulate so well. We're going to see this reflection on the water. It's going to be just almost like a mirror and all of these little dots will go away. We're only up to 22 iterations. Yes, I'm going to let it run all night. I'm just going to run all night. I've been watching this show on I watched Masterpiece Theater, like that. It's a channel that you can buy on Prime Video. and it's just like mostly like whodunits. It's like all whodunits. It's like, and there's this show on there called Astrid. I love this show. It's these two female like detectives. They're kind of like Cagney and Lacey, but Astrid is autistic. And so she's always going like this with her fingers and doing stuff. And she gets into this crime scene and she's looking around and she's doing this kind of thing. And it's so awesome. They are just, and she's thinking, you know, she loves puzzles. She's very brainy, you know, it's so cool. It's such an awesome, awesome show. It's called Astrid. And check it out if you get a chance. It's on Masterpiece Theater. I knew you'd laugh at that. and it's the most awesome show. And she notices all this stuff that nobody else notices and everything. So I have so much fun with that. So I'm on season 3. I'm going to cry when it's over because it's just like I've been having so much, just enjoying it so much. It's like it'd be nice if they came out with season 4 right about the time that I'm finishing season 3, but I don't know if there is a season, if they're making a season 4. Hopefully it doesn't end badly. So this is it. Now, all these little speckles here, those are going to turn into light. They're going to turn into like little, and the other thing is if you haven't started working with Genesis 9 figures, because the thing is that all of your Genesis 8 figures, okay, the only thing that Genesis 9 has better skin textures than Genesis 8. There's just no doubt whatsoever. They have a lot more parameters for the skin. The PBR skin has more things you can do with it, okay? So number one, right out of the it does everything that Genesis 8 skin does and more. So that's number one, okay? So the PBR skin is better than the Iray skin. Now Genesis 8.1 has PBR skin, okay? But the thing is Genesis 8.1 doesn't have like the male and female both together, so you can't just instantly put Genesis female hair on Genesis, or put all the makeup on the males, or you can't do the thing is you can just go in and load the eyebrow, and the thing is that with the Genesis 8, there's an eyebrow remover, and and the thing is that painted eyebrows from a distance look more real than fiber mesh. Fiber mesh eyebrows are kind of for like that up close when they can't be started doing them on my own with the Genesis 9. The painted eyebrows from a distance look much more real. They have so much more character, and they just if I had my other I could show you some painted on eyebrows that just totally blow anything I've ever seen. Like, Alexander's one of the males, Genesis 8 males. He has these really thick eyebrows. Bruce has these beautiful thick eyebrows. I've never seen any fiber mesh eyebrows ever come close to the realism. And that's the same way with painted on body hair for males. The painted on body hair looks so much better than from a distance than fiber mesh. Try using it sometimes. Don't just take them off because they're painted. Look and see, because sometimes you'll take them off and you lose something. You lose something even though you've got, something that, like, if you're not going to be that close where you look from the side and you can see it's painted on, you might be better with the painted on eyebrows. Always give them a chance, a fair chance, because I don't know if these are painted on or not, but these look like they belong on her face. And that's the thing, is that the only thing about painted on like body hair is if you get if you see their arm from the side and you see that there's like nothing sticking off of their arm and so it doesn't hurt sometimes to put the painted on bodysuit on and then put some fiber mesh on and on top of it. And so it's got the best. And the thing is that if it's going to be the arm part that you notice that doesn't have any hair, then just put the fiber mesh on that arm. And but what's really nice about painted on body hair for the males is that it doesn't stick through their clothes, and that is a huge problem with fiber mesh, is it sticking through their clothes. And so and especially if it's dForce, you can't use geometry editor on it and chop it away. Just like dForce hair. This is going to be like, these little dots here are going to be the sun hitting. It's going to take like another 3,000 iterations, but it's going to look like the sun hitting her hair. So this is going to be very nice. We got some parts of this water that looks like a mirror thing. So yeah, the painted on eyebrows are more realistic from a distance than anything you can get with fiber mesh. 'Cause I mean, they get in there and they paint every little, they're artists. They know how to paint, and what they do is they look at the picture and they paint the eyebrows that belong with the picture. They take the picture that the figure was made from, and they make those eyebrows look like they're real eyebrows, and so they fit really well with their features. They fit naturally because they're artists. They know how to paint. I don't know how to paint or do any of that kind of stuff. So just give them a chance to see, and whether if they do look better, because sometimes you take them off and you lose something, and the fiber mesh just don't do the same thing with it. So yeah, it took me a while to figure that out too, because I've always thought painted was worse. And they came out with the painted body, like it's a bodysuit, and it's like painted male body hair, and it's like, I go there first because it's just because, and the thing is you can set the transparency, and also you can change. It's because it's PBR. There are all these different abilities to actually change the structure of the paintings. So you can make them thinner and thicker and all kinds of weird stuff that you wouldn't think you could do with a something that's painted. So look into the of the eyebrows. Look into the features of the eyebrows also, and see what you into the surfaces of the eyebrows. So this is going to be yeah. The most natural looking eyebrows that I've ever seen were painted on, and so it has their benefits. It's definitely has their benefits over the fiber mesh, and but the fiber mesh has that close-up realism of hair, and the thing is the painted when I export, I haven't been able to figure this out, but when I export Genesis 9 figures into like Character Creator, it takes and leaves this bump map on there, so the eyebrow's gone, but there's a bump. There's all the bumps of the eyebrow, because the painted on eyebrows still have a bump map. There's still a a 3D representation of indentation, and you can go in and set that bump map to be a little bit stronger so that they protrude a little bit more from the eye. It's more than just an image. It's layers of images that you can mess with, change the color and all kinds of other things. Especially with the cards, I think the Genesis 9 cards and all. But I've definitely found that the artwork that goes into those painted eyebrows are, for each character, they're made for those characters. They're made to make those characters look really, really like it's like they're supposed to look. And so, all right, this is going to do it for me. I think we're gonna let this we're definitely gonna let this render. This is gonna have to go. We're only at 91 iterations right now. Normally this would be done. Yeah, just look and see. You definitely have an eye for beauty, and don't just get rid of them because they're painted on. Okay, get rid of them. Just get rid of them because they because something else looks better. But allow them. But notice how they're made for their face, the shape of their style of person. Like, if you're Groucho kind of eyebrow, they're made for that style, and it's very hard to find the style because they were probably taken from a photograph where they captured the realism of a person's face and the uniqueness of the way their face was. And it's something that comes out of nature, and just like putting fiber mesh eyebrows on, they're not necessary. You can try. I mean, I've spent hours trying to find the right eyebrows in a particular scene, which just everything I tried just didn't work. And so, and it could be that if I hadn't gotten rid of the figure's eyebrows so quickly, that may have been really what they needed. So, yeah. So, okay, this is going to do it for me. This is this kind of as full screen as I can go here. This is reticulating so slow. We're not even up to 100 iterations. It's going to take, I probably should have rendered this at 2000, but I'm going to let it render. I don't see anything wrong with this scene. If I go up around, I make sure that the background is not like that the picture is actually going all the way to the edge, because this is an image. This is a plane in the background. And what's really nice is when I went into Photoshop and I told the AI to make me Camelot's. I told me to make the Camelot's towers in the distant fog. I told it to do it in 4K, and so we have a fairly nice. It doesn't look like digitized in the back. So this is like a perfect scene. Nothing in this scene looks digitized. Even her clothing everything looks beautiful. Just lovely detail and nothing here. And this fog, all this will reticulate into this smooth, beautiful fog. It's not even close to what it's going to look like. All of this will just completely smoothen right out. So, all right, that's going to do it for me. We have now some polka time. Thank you for watching. Eve, you have a lovely, lovely evening. Thank you for the likes on the videos. Please subscribe. Click the bell for notifications. I'll be back with more Daz stuff. And this, I hope you picked up some stuff in this and some tips. And that's what you're gonna get here is just the undivided truth sometimes about the way things are. So it would seem as though my saving problem is gone. So the only thing I've got left to deal with is why my OneDrive is stuck at 3,103. It's just stuck there. It's uploading these, and I forgot how to do this, how to get rid of that. Maybe if I restart, there's some kind of cache that I have to delete or something to stop it from doing that. So I'm not sure where it is. I've got to go and look at find out what it was. I forget what fixes that. So that's something to do with Daz Studio and this whole problem that I have. Now I got to go back. I've got to go back and categorize all of my stuff, but all that hair is gone, and that's what I wanted. That's what it simplifies. I can just now auto fit the hair, and I don't have hair that I don't use because it didn't convert right. So that is I don't think I found any hair that converted right. So all right, thank you for watching, and I will see you again in the next video. This is RexRed saying so long, and this is EZ3DTV. Hopefully we can make things easier for you. All right, see you soon. Thank you, Eve, and Angus, and Art. Bye-bye for now. Have a lovely evening, and thank you very much for hanging out and watching and keeping me company while I worked on this scene. I will see you again soon. Alrighty, now if I can figure out how to fade this music while we go out. All right, I will see you. Bye-bye.